देश में आगे बढ़ाने के लिए एक अतिरिक्त शक्ति का सामर्थ्य भारत को आगे ले जाने वाला है और वो है विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट.
That was Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterating the need to empower India's women during his Independence Day speech from the ramparts of the Red Fort. But gender disparity at workplace continues to be a problem for the country. Women workforce participation remains remarkably low in India despite progress in various sectors. Latest data from the Centre of Monitoring Indian Economy or CMIE shows India's labour force participation rate or LFPR fell to 39.5% in the financial year 2022-23. The LFPR for men stood at 66%, while that of women was at 8.8%. Various indicators also suggest that women are less likely to be taught to read and write and to secure employment in India. Talking to Business Standard, economist Jayati Ghosh believes the country is facing a women empowerment crisis for unrecognized labour and inadequate measures from the government.
The way the Indian economy has grown in the last 2 or 3 decades, it has grown on the backs of the unpaid labour of women. So it's not true that women in India are not working. It's just that their work is not recognized. They are working in a lot of economic activities, in care work within the home and within communities, but also in jobs like fetching fuel wood, fetching water, kitchen gardening, poultry raising, looking after the children's education, and all kinds of other work. These are not counted as employment because our labor force statistics, we only look at those who get some money, some remuneration for their work. So one of the things that's holding Indian women back is the fact that we still have a very strongly patriarchal system in which women are forced to do a lot of the care work within households and communities, but also that in the job market, they get rationed out of jobs.
Since independence, the disparity was evident from the lower female literacy rate, which was less than 10% for women in 1951. This increased to 71.5% during 2019-2021, but the corresponding figure for men rose from 27.15% in 1951 to 84.4% during 2019-21. An analysis of government data points at deep-rooted traditional gender roles that continue to shape societal expectations, often discouraging women from pursuing careers outside the home. How can the situation of women improve?
I think every stakeholder has to come together. It's not something that, like a switch of a button, the problem can be solved. I think society needs to do a better job in terms of recognizing and acknowledging the role women can play being at formal workplaces. The rules and regulations need to be accommodative to encourage women to come back to workforce, make workplaces safer, equitable, equal. There has to be parity of all kinds. And thirdly, women themselves have to take better initiative to kind of fight against all odds and stay invested in the formal workplace.
Also, women could avail fewer opportunities than men if one includes all forms of employment. The female labour force participation rate, which measures the share of women working or available for work, is 24% as on 2022. This is lower than its South Asian neighbours like Pakistan at 24.6% and Bangladesh at 37.7%. It is also lower than Brazil, Russia and China, its BRICS peers, which have a female labour force participation rate of over 50%.
In most countries of the world, women's workforce participation has gone up with proactive measures, particularly for public services, spending much more on public services. So the East and Southeast Asian countries where you have very high women's workforce participation also have very high spending on health and education. And then that enables more women to go out for other work. And it also enables them to participate in other manufacturing employment and other services employment. So that is a precondition, and we have to learn from the successful Asian countries how to do this.
Access to information also remains limited among women. According to a 2019-21 government survey, only 33% of women have used the internet. Thus, unlocking the potential of Indian women in the workforce will require a multifaceted approach that addresses societal attitudes, educational barriers, inclusive workplaces, and ecosystem service.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's about to land his dream job. Business Standard.